consumer portal. Okay, so they develop this software, and when they're trying to install that software into the customer location, they found some kind of ambiguous feature. They're unable to install that software into the customer location. As because the manufacturer is telling that you have to change your software, so it is not possible. The manufacturer is changing their what devices. So at that timing, the James Gosling and team think for that they have to develop another programming language which is fitted with in any devices or which is run in any operating system. So they tried and developed this particular language and give its name as Oak. So oak is a tree in USA which gives coffee. Okay, so the entire developer team, while developing this programming language, they sat in a cafeteria and they think for that good quality of coffee, they able to develop this particular language. So that they give its name as Oak. Later that Oak is renamed to the Java. Now Java is very popular language in the today market because the code reusability feature is available. Means if you want to extend the functionality of your classes, then without rewriting the program, you can add the functionality and do your program. Previously, by the other programming language like C and C++, hardly you able to store your information in a flat file or text file. Now, by using of Java programming language, you can store your information in your database. Okay, like we are giving our when you sign up, you are giving your ID and password, and you store in your database. A similar way, we store that information in some kind of relational database like Oracle or SQL. You can store over there. And most important thing is what, by using of Java, you can break down your program into a smaller part. Suppose if I'm giving a task to a particular person that you have to prepare a curry item, or you prepare for making a tea. So somebody is arranging a water, somebody is arranging the milk. Okay, so when the people are gathering work for a particular project or particular work, then it makes you the faster programming execution. A similar way, for developing any kind of application, we require the three parts. One is your user interface, another is your database, another is your business model. In the user interface, you are giving your input. In your database, your all the information has stored. So before your information is going to store in the database, first it is validating it that you are correct user or not. So three things is required for developing any kind of application. It is not happen that a single person they have to develop all kind of applications. The concept of the packages enable the reusability of class and method across the various applications. So in this session, we have to cover object orientation technology, identify the various advantages of the object orientation, then identify the feature of the object orientation. So let's move to the first part. What is object orientation? It is a software development methodology which relates to the real world application. It consists of class, it consists of object. Okay. Any tangible thing that you see in the world is called as the object. It may be your mobile phone, your any vehicle. So that is called as a one object. Okay, and every object is belongs to a particular class. So class means which share the common structure and functionality between the object. If you take in an example, bird, the bird is a class which share the common functionality that the bird can fly, they have wing, the peacock belongs to it, crow belongs to it. So these are the different like peacock, crow, they belong to this bird category. As they share the common structure and function. Object can have interrelationship to each other. Like your mobile phone, when it is ringing, it is notifying you that somebody is calling that you have to receive the call. So that is also one object is interacting with another object. Object involves splitting the software system into the component part. In the object orientation, it is break down your program into a smaller part. In a banking application, there is a different modules are present. One is your RD account, saving account, loan account. So if I am giving a task to a developer team that you have to develop all the project, that is not possible. Okay, so you have to divide that entire module into a smaller component. Somebody is developing the user interface. Somebody is developing the business logic. Somebody is responsible for storing that information in the data. So these are the different components were used. Object can have, then after divide this problem, then you have to gather into a main model. Okay, so everybody is handle the application individually. They develop in their own component. Then after that, they gather into a main model. That is happened by using of your object orientation concept. In object orientation program, it consists of class and object. One object communicate with each other through the message. When you are moving through a traffic, it's signaling you red, it's signaling the green, it's signaling the yellow. So from that signal, we coming to know that when we supposed to be moved, when we supposed to be stopped, and when we supposed to be ready to stop or ready to move. So it is basically one object is interacting with that another object. That another example I have given that your mobile phone is ringing you and it is notifying you somebody is calling. Then you have to pick up the phone. Object. It is a material thing which is presented physically. It has a state, it display behavior, and it has unique identity. Object means it is a material thing which is physically present. It has a state. Your mobile phone is an object which is physically present. It has a different state like ringing mode, silent mode, vibration mode. That is called as the state of the object. It displays the behavior. When you purchase a mobile phone, you purchase that mobile phone by knowing its feature. So what are the features are available? Like the Bluetooth functionality, RAM, processor, then what are the different apps it is supported? They supported the mobile gaming apps or not. Every object has a unique identity. When you purchase same company mobile phone, the two person are going and purchase the same mobile phone having same color, same company. So everything is same, but its serial number or IMI number is different. Okay, so it has a unique identity. Two objects may have the same behavior and state, can never have the same identity. A car positioned at one place define its state, is it is a state of rest. A car registration number, it shows its identity. Okay, so here it shows the identity. Every object is having its own identity. Your mobile phone is contain a serial number. Your mobile phone is contain the different IMI number. It shows its identity. Car moves, define its behavior. Now comes to the class. Already I am discussed. Class is what? It is a combination of similar type of object which share the common structure and functionality. Like if you take in an example, bike is a class. In a bike, your KTM belongs to it, Pulsar belongs to it, Passion belongs to it. So it shares the common structure. Like they are having two wheels, they are having accelerator. In object programming terminology, so whenever you are go for the object programming, data within an object represents state. Suppose in a mobile phone, if it is showing you 5%, that means what? Your mobile phone battery will going to drain, or your mobile is going to switch off immediately. Data is termed as an attribute for whom you are storing the information is called as the entity. Suppose I am storing your information like your name, your address, your contact number. So that is called as what? That is called as the attribute. For whom I am storing the information, that is called as the entity. I am storing your information. That is, you are entity. And what are the information I am storing? That is called as the attribute. Student contact number, address is called as the attribute. From the data, I coming to know that what is the state of the particular object. Like from your mark, from your CGPA, I come to know that what is your grade. Okay, so the object programming terminology is saying that. Method, it have a behavior. Like in a mobile phone, you have a green button for connecting a call, a red button for disconnecting. So every option, it contains the specific feature. Like when you choose the Bluetooth, your Bluetooth is enabled. When you choose your Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi is enabled. So it's saying that behind this option, some instruction has written. Method is like a combination of the set of instruction to do a specific task is called as a program. So in every icon, there is set of instruction has written. When you choose that particular option, then the particular Bluetooth or particular Wi-Fi is enabled. It contains the code to implement. It contains the code to implement the behavior. It have the set of instruction. Every method is used for unique purpose. Just I'm telling that your Bluetooth, your Wi-Fi, every option is specially designed for the particular purpose. It implements the behavior of the object as like we purchase the mobile phone by knowing its feature. So that feature is enabled by using a method. When you are going to the ATM, there is a different option you are getting. like mini statement, cash withdrawal, and money transfer. So every option that you have got on the screen, so every option is used for unique purpose, and every option is working for a special or specific purpose. So it is implement your behavior of a object. An object is called as the instance of class. Suppose if it is a, you can say it is a Java class, you are the instance of the class or you are the part of the class. In our country, we are the instance of our country. By taking us, our country has made. So we are the instance of country. So if you're taking us, your country is a class, you are the instance of a particular class. Let's see the example. If student is a class, student 1 and 2 is called as the instance of class. So it is called the instance of classes. Messages are used for communication between the object. Like we're taking an example that a telephone or phone is ringing and it is notifying to you that somebody is calling. In a traffic signal, it is notifying you that when you have to go and when you have to stop. A car is flashing its light to pass the messages to the other car, then car is moving. Now it is a question for you. Identify the possible state of the following object. As we know that the state of the mobile phone is silent, vibration, ringing, and in MP3 player, what it's supposed to be? Play, pulse, rewind, and forward. So these are called as the state of your MP3 player. Next question. John went to a shopping mall to buy some clothes. The door of the shopping mall was automatic, which opened as soon as John stepped near it and closed as soon as John entered the mall. So identify the following. The possible receiver of the message, the possible method the receiver can use. So when you enter the mall, so who is received the message? John is received the message. Your door is received the message. Here door is received the message. So there is a sensor is present. Sensor is receiving. Sensor where the sensor is present? In the door. Then when you enter, then it is automatically closed. The possible method the receiver can use. So when the door is receive the message, what the door is doing? The door is open and door is closed. So what are the different advantages of the object orientation approach? One is your realistic model. It is happened in your daily life also. Suppose when you are planning for a feast between your friend, so first of all, you decided the menu. Suppose you are preparing the menu that we have to go for prepare the chicken curry or paneer curry. So first of all, you have to collect the ingredient. You collect the ingredient in the form of chicken, in the form of paneer. Then you collect the onion, garlic, some kind of dry masala. So that gathering information is called the realistic model. When you want to develop a software, do you think that developer is having or customer is wanting that I want this kind of software and developer is directly go and write the code and deliver to the customer? It is not happening. First of all, the developer team is going to the customer location and they analyzing the customer requirement. They interview all the persons one by one and they gather the information and they find out what are the problems the people are facing. So it is not possible for every problem that you have to give a solution. So for every problem, you have to give a common solution. The developer team is analyzing which is actual feasible requirement is there. So based upon their requirement, they prepare the software. So that information gathering is called as your realistic model. Reusability. It allows to reuse the existing class and object. When you purchase your mobile phone, you add the screen guard, you add the back cover. By adding the screen guard and back cover, your mobile phone version has not changed. Okay, suppose you have Oppo and Vivo mobile phone and you are adding back cover of Apple. So is it your company and model is changed to Apple? No. The screen guard and back cover that were put into the mobile phone to just giving better look and feel to our mobile or to protect for the from the damage. The reusability is like that when you are giving or deliver the software to the customer is using it, and from the beginning, the customer is asking some kind of changes have to be made in their existing software. So you make it changes. So that concept is called as your reusable. If you take an example, when Windows 7 is coming to the market, it comes in the form of Windows 7 Basic. Later, it is converted to the Windows Professional, Windows Ultimate. Next is modularity. As already we discussed, it allows the object to be maintained independent of each other. So it is not possible for a single person. They have to develop the entire application. So we divide the application into a smaller chunks or smaller parts. And every individual module is handled independent. Then that individual module, after develop, it is gathered in a main module, then your software has developed. It's just like that, breaking down the complex structure into a simpler one. Modularity in the program is just like that. And it is also helping you for the code reusability. Suppose you are developing a software for XSPN. After some days, same application is required for the SBI. So you can deliver it by changing the what logo or some kind of feature. Now in the situation, there is a huge demand on the online training app. Like we have Zoom, we have Meet, we have Microsoft Teams, and lot of third-party software has also developed. Okay, so they deliver to the different colleges, different institutions. So they only make only one copy. But same feature they provided to the other institute also by making some kind of changes by changing the logo or some kind of amount structure or this amount is different. So that is for the what reusability concept you can also see. It is helping you when you go for this modularity concept. flexibility to change. It allows to create a new class. A new class can add the feature to an existing class. Sometimes we are using the software and we get some kind of newer version like Android 9 to Android 10, conversion of Windows 7 to the Windows 8, Windows 8 to Windows 10. That is called the flexibility to change. Means you add the new functionality on the existing class and you have to create a new class. So this concept is called as the flexibility to change. The new class can add the feature to an existing class. Next, information hiding is a very important part in our object orientation or in your programming concept. When you are going to a dress shop, you are asking that I want suppose t-shirt. Then the salesperson is deliver you only the t-shirt between the range, between the size is delivered the particular thing. It doesn't mean other items are not available. Other items are available, but which information is relevant to you, the salesperson is deliver that particular thing. In a software part, developing part is also like it is another real life example. When you upload the photo, you are tagging some friend and you want to make your photo private and you want to don't want to make visible your photo to the some friend, so you just block it except this person, so it is not visible to them. Some photo that you are tagging, so it is what showing the other person. If you make it public, then every person can see it. Friends of friend. If you share the photo within the friend, it is only visible within the friend. So in a software development part, we have some kind of admin concept or some kind of user concept. Admin is having all the rights to do all kind of modification, insert, update, or delete, all the things admin can do. But in the case of user, the user is only update his or her information and view the information. The user is not having the rights to delete it. Like you cannot delete your account, bank account. Okay, so for closing the bank account, you need to go the banking branch. The information hiding is just like that. Which information is required for you, that information is delivered to you, and which information is not required, that is hidden from you. So which information is showing to you, that is called the encapsulation, sorry, abstraction, and which information is hidden from you, that is called the encapsulation. The information hiding is a word, very important part. It allows the programmer to limit the access to the information. Okay, so this is all about your OOPS concept. So based upon the OOPS concept, your Java programming has developed. Okay, so as I already told, it's just a methodology or it's just a formula. So by using of that formula, we can develop various modern day programming languages. It is not like a Java, like Python, C Sharp language. So all are based upon the object orientation concept. As we know the different features that is available in the OOPS, like code reusability, flexibility to change, you can hide the information, and by its feature or by these are the lot of features are available, so that the OOPS is now what most acceptable part in any programming language. Later or earlier were using the C programming language, which is not having that kind of functionality. So have you what prefer that? If you have a one stair building and if you want to make it upper stair, then again you have to rebuild from the beginning, or you have to destroy the existing building and you can create another one. It is not possible. It is just wastage of money. You can enhance it. Okay, redeveloping is your cost is involved, your manpower is involved. So a lot of losses are there. If you want or need some kind of changes with the existing application, you can extend. Okay. So it is all about of your hooks concept. In the next part, we move to your Java programming. Thank you.